Ladies and gentlemen, all you need to know about the January committee run by Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, and other Democrats is the following. The mayor of D.C., the attorney general of D.C., the Merrick Garland, the attorney general of the United States of America, have never leveled any charges against Donald Trump, and they never will. It's been about 2 years, going on 2 years now. The Federal Bureau of Investigation already cleared Trump. Any rebuttal to that should be met with, well, why haven't they then indicted the former president? There was never any evidence that he worked with another country to defeat Clinton, just like there was never any evidence that he told people to engage in horrible activity that I condemn, that you condemn, that everybody condemns. Just like we all condemn what took place that summer by liberal Democrats or demonstrators who voted for mashed potato brains Biden, our president now. And so you can look, ladies and gentlemen, and ask a very simple question. If he was not indicted, then why on earth is there this committee? The issue is who's at fault, what happened. They're trying to, with this committee, find out. That's why they're so into getting text messages and, all this information on what could have happened possibly. It's like they had all that information from the very beginning. Okay, there was also an interaction between a government agency and Ted Cruz. Every once in a while, Ted Cruz does something pretty good. Every once in a while. And there was an interaction during congressional testimony where he asked a specific government agency, the agency that former attorney James Baker worked for, and the jury during the Sussman trial didn't trust Baker because they didn't believe the Federal Bureau of Investigation was apolitical. They thought, of course, there's no way Michael Sussman could have deceived James Baker, Comey's attorney, at the Bureau because, of course, everyone at the Bureau wanted to investigate Trump. But Ted Cruz had a very interesting interaction during congressional testimony where he asked, by the way, do you know how many agents were there that day? Do you know how many people at the Federal Bureau of Investigation were there that day? Sorry, sources, methods, we can't tell you. We just can't answer that question, sir. And so they just hid behind the reverence and the prestige of the wonderful agency. So that's a really interesting interaction. We don't know. A lot of this could point back to the United States government if that interaction between Ted Cruz and the representative of a certain department of the U.S. government was, could lead to something else. Anyway, the point is Trump was never indicted or charged in the court of law. He was never accused because there was no evidence that he committed a crime. Okay, say it slowly. Wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats who are absolutely fantastic people, very virtuous and moral. There's no evidence that Trump committed a crime in 2016 or 4 years later. And if there was any evidence, in a court of law, they would have indicted or charged Trump. Now, Liz Cheney and Kinzinger know this. Politicians are basically like performers. That's why when you have, whether it's Peter Navarro or Bannon or anyone that this committee wants to torment, they're doing so to grandstand. It's a theatrical performance. It's performance art. They're saying, oh my God, this is a congressional panel. There's no congressional panel on poverty or stopping violence or a certain type of violence that Democrats claim to want to stop. There's no congressional panel on inflation. There's no congressional panel on, think of something they pretend to hold dear. What they really care about is political power and influence. That's why you have this congressional panel. They won't let it go. The entire summer of that year, like, never happened. Over $2 billion in property damage. According to Wikipedia, 18, 19 lives lost, something around that. You can go to Wikipedia. In that summer, they don't care. That one day, Republicans, yes, oh my God. You see, these people are monsters. And then you see the reverence for law enforcement, and then not so much the reverence for law enforcement in any other situation. The hypocrisy is unbelievable. But ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel below in the pinned comment. And the Stock Market Crash and Bitcoin Crash to 10,000 or lower channel, it's below in the description section as well. So go to the description section. And I'm building those two channels, ladies and gentlemen. People say, well, why when you're speaking do you have to take a moment to talk about those two other channels? It ruins the flow of the information. It's like, well, I'm trying to build them. Maybe you should please just join them if you like my viewpoint or my thoughts, or at least give them to somebody else who's invested in Bitcoin or crypto or in the stock market. If you have a 401k, definitely subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel and the Bitcoin Crash channel. I have 2 segments in each of those channels, very important today. And I predicted and called everything that's taking place. Go to the description section of this segment and every segment. The description section will show you that I have accurately predicted exactly what's taking place. We're seeing an economic collapse and a stock market catastrophe, and Bitcoin's going to implode, and cryptocurrencies are imploding. And Bitcoin will get to 10,000 or lower, and the Dow, the Nasdaq, I mean, we're not even in the first inning of this collapse. And I don't say that with glee. I don't want that to happen. But ladies and gentlemen, Peter Navarro and Steve Bannon and anyone else they hold in contempt or arrest, this is all theater. They know that there wasn't a concerted effort by Trump to foment some kind of, diabolical act. They know this because they haven't indicted Trump. They can't find anything on his tax returns. They can't find anything. Well, they didn't find anything with Mueller. Nothing. Nobody was indicted for conspiring or colluding alongside another country. They didn't find anything in January against Trump. Stormy, nothing happened. Avenatti went to prison. Okay. Like, you think about people who devoted their life to taking down Trump, and it's like nothing ever good happens to these people. Kinzinger and Cheney will write a book. About 30 people will read both books, and then they'll be out of politics, and maybe they'll get work as a consultant for the Democratic Party, and maybe they'll make a good deal of money, or maybe they'll make, who knows. But everyone else who's gone after Trump, it hasn't worked out. And Michael Avenatti is just one example. There's Andrew McCabe. There's Eric Schneiderman, Andrew Cuomo. An endless list. You can look at Alec Baldwin. Look where his life, or look what happened to, like, what he did to someone else. Ending someone's life accidentally. And he's known for his portrayal of Trump. So it's like you focus your entire life on going after Trump. There's like a Trump curse. I mean, I'm not even being facetious here. There's a Trump curse. I'm kind of being obviously sarcastic. But anyway, they're going to dissolve. Did I even bring this up? They're going to dissolve. The Republicans are going to sweep in the midterms. 9 minutes in. 9 minutes in to my 9-minute crowd. Can you please write in the comments section that 9 minutes in I get to the point? They're going to dissolve the January committee. They're going to dissolve the January committee. It's going to be dissolved. It'll no longer be around. You'll have Trump Republicans who run the House, who want nothing more than payback. The Trump Republicans that will run the House will make me look like, a supporter of mashed potato brains Biden. The Trump Republicans who want the House will immediately dissolve the January committee and then move for impeachment almost immediately after. They'll impeach Biden twice. Okay, the same thing that happened with Trump, except now you have actually a reason to impeach. Because you have somebody who lied about a pay-to-play scheme where his son was giving him money from multi-million-dollar deals throughout the world, trading the family name and access or the perception of access into the U.S. government. But ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel, the Bitcoin Crash channel, ladies and gentlemen. And that is below. There is not going to be another, like we have until November. And after November, there's no more panel. And then they'll write a report. And it'll be different from the Durham Probe special counsel because the Durham Probe is looking at a much wider 18 U.S. Code 371 statute. That's what they tried to use against Trump when they thought that he was conspiring with another country. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. Thank you so very much.